Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Allahumma faqihna fid din. So here we are with our session number 70. So let's start with our review, inshallah. Let me open the review and start asking you how much you remember. Okay, so sisters, do you know you were assigned this homework of Surah Al-Masad? Type 1 if you were given this homework. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Can you hear me? Okay, so sorry. So did you hear me saying the duas? Okay, I'm so sorry. I think I put myself on mute by mistake. So I was just asking, were you aware of this homework that we were going to do this Surah Al-Masad or Surah Al-Lahab? No? Okay, let's just try to do it together, okay? So the surah is in front of you. You are very well familiar, you very well know this surah. Most of you must have memorized it. So let's see the first word, tabbat. If I give you a word, tabbat, what do you think? Tabbat, mudare or madi. Ta, baba are the root letters. Okay. Ta, baba are the root letters. Yes, it is jumla failure. Barakallahu feek. So now see, look at the word again. There is a ta sakun at the end. This is the beginning, right? This is a beginning. So this is fail, madi, right? Now, when you have ta sakun at the end of your fail madi, what does it tell you? What is the pronoun in the word? Very well done. The pronoun is feminine, right? So the pronoun is feminine. It is a third person or second person. Yes, I see the answers now coming. It is hiya, which is the third person. When you have fail madin, hua or hiya, or fail mudari, hua or hiya, what should you look for? What can be present in addition to the pronoun? Or sometimes these words can take an outside doer. Do you see an outside doer here? Very well done, right? Yada is a outside doer. So every doer, what have we learned? Every doer must be blank in status. What should be the status of a doer? It should be rough in status, right? So when the doer is rough in status, it is how is it how can you look at the word and you can identify the status? The rough status of a word is denoted by 3 signs, right? If it is singular or a broken plural, the word is going to end with. If a word is rough in status and is a singular word like muslimun or muslimatun or a broken plural, the word can end with dhamma, right? If it is a dual word, what will be the sign of marfu status? Alif, very well done. If it is a plural word, what is going to be the sign of marfu status? Wow, very well done. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. So tabbat yada, it is, yada is the outside doer, right? So here, because of alif, we know this is reference status. Therefore, we are going to call it outside doer for tabbat. So now the next question is, why is tasakun there? Why are hands being treated as feminine? Have we learned something about that in our first term? Very well done. So body parts in pair, most body parts in pair are going to be mu'annas samai. Arabs said so, and the samai, they were heard feminine. Body parts in pairs are going to be treated as feminine, and they are heard feminine. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. So, okay. So now, where is the noon of this word? The word should be yadani. Is this word regular in its regular form? Is it in its default form? Because by default your word is heavy, so this word is light, and it is light because it is mudaf. Very well done, right? So mudaf, and it is light. So what is abi here? If this is mudaf, it is going to be mudaf ilayhi. Absolutely, because between mudaf and mudaf ilayhi there cannot be any word. Between mudaf and mudaf ilayhi, there cannot be any word that can be inserted, okay? So mudaf is right next to its mudaf ilayhi. So this is the mudaf ilayhi for yada. Very well done. Which category of word abi belong to? Yes, they are inseparable. Very well done. Asmaul Khamsa, very well done. They are Asmaul Khamsa, where these words show their status by a corresponding letter. If the word is rough in status, the status is shown with an additional, in addition to Dhamma, word will also have what? Abu, Abba. Yes, just have you written, Sister Samina, the word will have Waw in addition, not just and with Dhamma, right? When they are in Mudaf in status, they are going to show their rough status by the presence of Waw. In case of Nasb status, their Nasb status is going to be denoted by Alif. If they are Jar in status, like the word is here, it is going to be denoted by presence of Ya. Everyone with me so far? That was very special, something about Asmaul Khamsa, right? So these 5 Asma will have corresponding letters, and they would not just suffice with the single Dhamma, Kasra, Fatha. No, they will have their corresponding letters in addition to Dhamma, Fatha, Kasra. Okay, so that is why Abi is not just Abi, the Ya is in addition to the Kasra. Okay, so I hope everyone is with me so far. So these words in their light form have this Ya. So now, can someone tell me, by looking at the word that is coming after Abi, why is this word light? Why is Abi? Now we have said that it is from Asmaul Khamsa, it is Mudaf, that Asmaul Khamsa, it is from Asmaul Khamsa, and it is light, right? And its heavy form is Abin. Okay, Abin is a heavy form or default form, but here it is Abi. So it is light because again, as I see answers are coming, because again it is a word is a mudaf. That is why it is light. It will not have, its light status is shown like this. Its regular form is going to be abin. It's not going to be with noon, right? Because this is a singular word, right? So this is going to be, it was originally abin, but when it was made light, we end up removing the tanween. We are left with one kasra, and because this word is from Asma'ul khamsa, I will have to add a ya. Okay? No, we are coming to the to lahabin, right? So this one is clear so far, Alina? Yes. Okay. Now come lahabin. The question here is, why is lahabin? Number one question is, why is lahabin with kasratain? Why does it have kasras? Why is it in jar status? Mudaf ilayhi? Because we are calling abi mudaf and lahabin mudaf ilayhi. Everyone understood that? Now, mudaf ilayhi. Does mudaf ilayhi have to be light? Is there a condition for mudaf ilayhi to be light? So it is in the form as it should be. Okay. Now, if I'm not, that can be another thing that, why is this a name and this still has, a kasratain, right? I hope that was not your question. Or yes, it was your question, that Lahab is the name. Was it the real name of Abu Lahab? What was that? Right? So it is a kunya of that person, right? Just because of how he looked. So does a kunya or a title have to follow that, the proper name pattern? No, right? Because if I call someone Moon, or I call someone, I give someone some name, some just, any name, that's not a proper name. I just call them out of love, or out of, some out of some emotion. That is just a title or kunya or a nickname, or, that does not, that is not, the same rules won't apply, right? I hope that is clear. He was very red, in complexion. So Lahab is, just a flame, and he was also, one view is that he was very hot tempered, and that is why he was called Lahab, right? I hope that is that part is clear, that this is not a proper name, right? So that is why tanween can come here. I hope everyone is with me. So tabbat yada abi lahabun wa tab. Now comes your tab. Wow, what are you going to label this wow? Atf, very well done. Now comes this word tabba. Tabba. And I have sometimes taught you that, think of this as tababa. So now tell me, give me the sigha of this word. Can it be an ism, fail, harf? What do you think? If it is tababa, like nasara, it's a fail, right? Just I told you. So keep that in mind. Yes, no, it's not a third letter rule. It's a rule of idgham. It's a rule of idgham, and inshallah, when we will learn those, those families, inshallah, you will learn that how you are going to merge two letters that are similar, okay? And why Arabs do so, and what's the science behind it. So tabba was originally tababa. Now, it's according to the rule, it is just like that, tabba. So now this is fail. What kind of a fail it is? Madin, mudare, amr. What is it? It is madi. So when I say have a fail madin, I have to, every fail has a pronoun, right? And that is what makes it a fail. So what is the pronoun in tabba? It's a huwa tabba, right? There is nothing added at the end of the word. And we are looking at fail madin. So therefore, we are going to look at the end of the word as well, not leaving beginning. It's not that we are going to skip the beginning, but focus to look for a pronoun. I have to look at the end of the word, and after the third root letter, I do not see any additional ta, sakun, alif, waw, noon, or ta, fatha, ta, damma, ta, kasra, or noon, alif. So I can or noon fatha, I can easily say that this word is huwa tabba. Okay. Now, if I translate this first verse for you, or if I take you to this Sahih International translation, so let's see. May the hands of Abu Lahab be ruined, and ruined is he. How are you seeing here? How is past tense being used here? What do you think? Is it a conventional use of past tense, regular use of past tense, or a non-standard use of past tense that you are seeing here? Yes, it is non-standard use of past tense, barakallahu feek, and you are using past tense to curse someone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is cursing Abu Lahab. That is why this was like that. I hope everyone has understood so far everything. Okay, let me take you back to now the next verse. Okay, ma aghna. Okay, so if I give you this ma, and before I take you to that ma, aghna, ghain, noon, ya are the root letters. Okay, ghain, noon, ya are the root letters, and I know we have not learned this, irregular af'al, at not much, but just think about it. Okay, let's see. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Okay, hold your horses yet. Okay, this I did not avail, or it did not avail. How is it translated? Because most of people know the translation of this surah. It did not avail him. Right? Now, let me teach you how to cheat. Okay, this is also very important. You should know how to cheat. Okay, when you are doing grammar. Okay, and I will teach you how to cheat. You see this verse here. Agna is here, and that's a fail, and you have correctly identified it as a fail. Okay, Anhu is jar wal majroor, and we will deal with it later. Most probably, you will call it jar wal majroor. You are going to call it mutalik bil, right? Mutalik bil fail for now. Maluhu, maluhu. What is maluhu? Tell me grammatically, one by one. It's an idafa number one. That was the number one answer that I was looking for. Now tell me, what's the status of your mudaf? It's rough in status. Can you ever have an ism in rough status after ana, after a fail with ana? So what is this? This hamza is not a sign of mudari. So this is not mudari. This is a part of the word structure, right? Now you will say this hamza is a part of word structure. Now tell me, if this is a part of word structure, ghainun ya, the root letter, you don't see anything in addition. Now tell me, what are the af'al that are going to take an outside doer that can have a marfu ism after them? Very well done. Yes, by word structure, I mean, this is not the root letter. Whenever you are doing your word to word and you are telling your root letters, you don't say Hamza, Ghain, Noon, or Ya, right? You skip Hamza and you go to Ghain, Noon, Ya, right? So it is just a part of word structure. It has nothing to do with the root letter of the word. The root, the main founding stones of this word are Ghain, Noon, Ya, and those are the only stones. Rest is extra. Okay, this is just a part of the word structure. Everyone with me so far? Alhamdulillah. Can you all see the verse now? And can you all decipher for yourself that when I have an ism in marfu status, I need to know my fail cannot be ana. My fail cannot be anything but huwa or hiya form of madi or mudari. Okay? Keep that in mind, inshallah. Okay. So this ma, as I told you the translation, his wealth will not avail him. His wealth will not. So what kind of ma is this? This is ma nafiya. Very well done. Okay. Everyone with me so far? Okay. Now comes your wow. Wow is your at. Now what is ma? It will not avail him. His wealth will not avail him. And what is this ma? You have learned very well done. Mausula, right? It's not nafiya. Very well done. Very well done. So now you have already identified this is not nafiya. Now this is something else because this is not going to be translated as nafi, right? It is not it he earned, right? So now think about it. Now when you say whatever is ma mausula, we will do the same drill that we have been doing in the past. When you see some mausul, what do you look for? The same drill is going to, you look for silatul mausul. You look for silatul mausul, what kind of sila you have. You have jumla as your silatul mausul, as Sister Zarina has already answered. What kind of jumla it is? Ismiya or failure? Kasaba. Is kasaba jumla ismiya or jumla failure? Jumla failure. What is the fail here? What kind of fail is there? Madin or mudari? Yes, it is hua. The pronoun is hua and it is fail madin. Everyone is with me so far? Or am I going too fast for you? Alhamdulillah, we got it. Everyone is with me. I will take a pause and I will take any questions in while I'm taking this pause. Let me drink some water. Okay. Now I am calling this ism mausul. I don't worry about any i'rab for this. It is what it belongs to which category of word. What kind of word is it? It's a harf. La mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. I don't worry about anything here. But when I call this ism mausul, every ism has 4 properties, right? So I need to know what is the status of this word, right? Am I right or no? Okay. So how will I determine? I have a wow here that you all called wow atf, right? This is another ma that ma that we have learned in haruf as ismaul jazma that will affect mudare and madin, but this one is a different ma. It's a mausula that we have been doing before, right? So it's a mausul will not have any effect on whatever is coming next in terms of i'rab. It's not going to make anything coming after it majzoom in status. Yes. So now coming back, that wavy line. Where is the wavy line? I'm talking about that wave sign. Where this one? This one? This one? First ma? I'm talking about this. This is just because of tajweed, because your madde asli is followed by hamza, right? This has just to do with the tajweed. Otherwise, it is 2 count mad originally, okay? Because it was followed by hamza, it is stretched for 4 counts or 5 counts. It's a rule of tajweed, okay? 4 or 5, you can pick one, okay? So nothing to do with i'rab. Yeah, nothing to do with i'rab, okay? If you see wavy line, this one, so remember, most probably it will have nothing to do with the i'rab of the word, okay? Inshallah. Like this wow, nothing to do with the i'rab. This additional wow has nothing to do with the i'rab. It is mud. It's just mud because of mud sila sora, okay? So, but inshallah, when we will be more advanced in our grammar, we can, talk about, other stuff as well. But for now, I will just, keep you focused on grammar. Okay, inshallah. So now I see an answer. This ma should be rough in status because it is following an ism that is marfu in status. Okay, it is following a word that is marfu in status. We are in jumla failure. We are in jumla failure. And what are the parts of jumla failure? Real quick, give me the parts of jumla failure. fail, fa'il, maf'ul, muta'alliq bil, right? Fail, fa'il, maf'ul, muta'alliq bil. You found your fail. You had damir mustatir hua, so you knew there can be an outside doer, and you spotted it there and then, right? Maluhu. Then mutalik bil fail came before your file, which is something, not a standard sequence that we normally see, but it is there. Then comes your waw, and then comes your ma. So this ma is following malu in status. It will not his wealth will not avail him, and whatever he earned will not avail him. Is everyone with me? Any confusion? Because you see, his wealth will not avail him, or that which he gained, all of that is not going to benefit him, will not avail him. काम नहीं आएगा, ठीक है? It will not be any benefit to him. Okay, so now very important question, and just real quick, I would like to ask you, why is past tense used when the translation is being done in future? Why is past tense being used? Why not present tense when it was to be in in future? Now this, we are talking about this one. Yes, it will definitely happen. It will definitely happen. Now this is telling you that this is what is going to be happening. There are no loopholes here. Okay, there are no loopholes here. This is what is going to happen. Ma does not bring any change to the tense. Ma does not bring any, it is ghair amila. Remember that, okay? It is ghair amila when it is negating jumla failure. Okay, it does not change anything. It just comes there and just does a job of being used as not. Everyone with me so far? Any more questions? Small surah, small verses, but still so much to learn, isn't it? Okay, so let me take you to the next verse, sayasla. Now look at the word sayasla. One word or two words? Tell me. This is how you are going to learn, and things will stick with you. Two words. Tell me, what are those two words? Seen and yasla. Seen and yasla. What is the job of seen? Who remembers? What does seen do to fail mudari? What is? Yes, it pushes. This one is the one that definitely pushes the meaning in future. And when you compare it with sofa, seen is near future, right? Seen is near future when compared to sofa. I hope this is clear to everyone, because you are all giving me the answers. I'm just speaking from your answers actually. So for the rest of you who have not put their answer, I hope that it is clear to everyone. Alhamdulillah. Now every time I look at fail, the first step is I have to identify what in it. File, right? Who is a pronoun, or if it is a fail ma'loom, so we have to look for file, because it is fail ma'loom, not starting with dhamma, so I have to look for a doer. And what do you think is the doer here? Who is the doer? Very well done. So it is talking about who? It is again Abu Lahab being, he will burn, right? He will enter to burn in the fire. Okay. Naran. You have fail mudari. You have a doer. Then comes a word in nasb, that is nasb status. That is nasb status. When it is nasb status, he will enter to burn in a fire. Now I know this is coming up as, where will he enter or where will he burn? But just think about it as a detail. So focus on mafa'il that you have learned, mafa'ilul khamsa, And when you go back to them, give me one of them. Hmm? Because naran is, just think of it as, yes, it may appear to be that, he will be made to enter where. It is answering your where question, naran. But sometimes, since Arabic and English are not, there is no, one to one. So sometimes, there can be, some things can be still, tricky, how we can, label them. Um, but okay, I can, for now, I can see that, fihi is, more, based on how we have learned it, and because we are doing it from English to Arabic. So fihi is, makes more sense. But when you will look at it from just from an Arab state of mind, you will say, this is going to be maful bihi, because that is most common, and mostly, because fihi, yes, it is, fihi, it answers my where. But here it is, bihi. But the number one thing is identify it as maful. Okay, so if you do so far, and that's, that's correct. Okay, now when I identify this, there is a word that is following it, zata. Can I connect zata to naran by any way? Can they two be connected? Is there any connection? Very well done. Yes, it is sifa. Naran was mausuf, and zata is a sifa. Sister Samina, what is the gender of naran? Think about it again. It's a feminine, right? It's a feminine. Now think about it. It is a feminine because Arab said so. Yes, right? What is the masculine form of zata? Who can tell me? Zata. What is a masculine? What will be the masculine version of zata? We have learned it in Asmaul Khamsa. Very well done. Zu, za, zi. Zu, za, zi. But this was zata. Ta was, I told you from the beginning that women in Arabic learn letter ta. Okay, so ta was for feminine. That is why it is going to be called sifa for naran, and they are matching in all four properties. Both are nasb in status, both are common, both are singular, and what is left? Gender we already did, like both are feminine. Everyone with me so far? How will you connect now lahab with zata? Idafa. So I have taught you that sometimes you will see that your idafa can come up as sifa, and it can also come up as mawsuf, and you will have a single sifa that is describing that idafa. We have done those examples in our term one. So this whole combination, this whole idafa is describing your nar. What kind of nar is going to be made to enter? Is everyone clear on this? No, we are going to just call it maful. Naran is going to be your maful, my dear. Okay. Though it is, it seems like a place, but it's not literally a place. It's just, um, not a tangible place. It's just an intangible, something. Though it is, it's not intangible. Actually, there is a fire that he's going to go into. But just think of it as maful, naran. Oh, Zata Lahab, are you talking about? No, no, no. No, Zata Lahab is a sifa for Naran. So wherever Naran is going to go, Zata Lahab is going to follow it, right? Because they're connected. You cannot disconnect them. Once you made the connection, just remember, it's going to remain connected, okay? Now, when I look at my fail mudari, in addition to finding the pronoun, what is the other thing that I should also focus on? Because your fail mudari is not like your fail madin or fail amr that remain unchanged, that is non-flexible. Your fail mudari has statuses, right? So what will you call the status of fail mudari here? Is it marfu, mansoob, or majzoom? Okay, so when you call it mansoob, is there anything before it that is making it mansoob? You have to have a reason for a word to be mansoob in status or majzoom in status. Do we find any reason, right? So this is a case that where I taught you that your mudare is marfu bidammatul muqaddara, implied dhamma on alif. Okay, this is marfu in status bidammatul muqaddara. If you remember from the very beginning, sometimes I call it bidammatul zahira versus dammatul muqaddara. When I say muqaddara, I say that there is an implied dhamma on this alif, right? Okay. So now let's see. Sayasla naram zata lahab. So he will enter to burn in a fire of a blazing fire. Okay. Now what is this doing here? Wamra'atuhu. It's an atf. Okay. Imra'atu. Imra'atu. What's the status here? Rough in status. And what is the structure in one word or two words? It's an idafa. Very well done. There are two words. Who is attached? So his wife. So now, can I see an ism that I can call that this word is matuf on that ism? Is there anything before it that is rough in status that I can make it matuf on? Lahab is jar in status. Jar. But can I take it? Yes, in yasla. What is there in yasla that is rough in status? Hua in yasla. That is the right answer. Don't say that yasla itself, but that hua that you wrote, Sister Samina, that was the accurate, most precise answer, that the pronoun that is in a fi'l ma'loom, always rough in status, that is ma'tuf alayhi for this wamra'atu. Is everyone with me so far? Let me see who is there. Who are okay. So everyone with me? So now this is just, you are going to consider this together for now. So I am going to teach you something that that is you will not find in Arab books, but just try it here. Okay. You see after wamra'atuhu hamma, hammalata, hammalata, and you must have seen the translation here. The carrier of firewood. So if I tell you he will made to enter the fire made up of burning flames, and his wife while she is carrying the firewood. So hammalata, what can this be for a beginner? And I'm very clear in this. This may not be the accurate i'rab for this word, but for now I have to keep it simple, and I have to just do it this way. Okay. Inshallah, in future I will tell you the exact grammar of that, but for now just think of it as a as I'm telling you. What is carrier of firewood? A woman carrying something. What is it describing? What is it answering? This hamalat al-hatab. Yes, it is telling you the state this woman is in, his wife is in, isn't it? How will she enter the fire that is of a blazing flame? He will enter. He will enter to burn in the fire of blazing flame, and his wife while she is carrying the firewood. Laden, or yes. So you think of it outside pregnancy here, because in Arabic, carrier of something will be called hamil. Okay. So it is just, and this is actually just kind of like, how we use idioms and proverbs. Carrier of firewood is someone who carries namima, who do, just the tale tellers, just people who spread rumors and take one story from one person and then spread it to others. So that is, yeah. Yes, and hamile Quran, and also hamalatul arsh, the angels that are carrying the arsh are called hamalatul arsh. So hamil is not only just used for pregnant person. It can be carrier of anything. Okay, you can use the word in Arabic for anyone who is carrying something. Is it clear? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Ameen Vayaki. So can we say that, this Hamalat al-Hatab is actually describing Wamra'atuhu? When we call something a hal, what should be hal? What are the characteristics of a word that is describing something? Yes, number one, it answers your how question. Number two, it is nasbin status. It is nasbin status. Number three, what is another condition that has to be met? When a word is a singular word that is coming up as a hal, yes, it has to match gender and number and gender in most cases. And sahibul hal has to be proper. And there is another thing. There is another thing. The hal has to be, yes, I see that answer. The hal has to be common. Very well done, Sister Rubin, Sister Ambreen. Everyone is, Alhamdulillah, coming up with their good answers. Alhamdulillah. Is this clear so far? Type 1, if it is. Okay, now let me take you to the last verse. So you just say that, Hamalat al-Hatab, this idafa is actually a description for how she will be entering the fire of blazing flames. Okay, so now I will ask you to focus on this part of the verse and tell me what kind of sentence are we looking at. Jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya? Jumla ismiya. Jumla ismiya. So now what are the parts of jumla ismiya? What do you look for? Mubtada, khabar, muta'allik bil khabar. Right? Fi jidiha. What am I going to call fi jidiha? Muta'allik bil khabar. Because I am in jumla ismiya. What should I call? Hablum. Hablun. For now, it's going to be mubtada, right? And there are certain sentences I told you. If you have jar wal majroor at the beginning of your sentence and there's an ism following that, call that jar wal majroor mutalik bil khabar and label that common ism. Label that common ism as what? As mubtada. Yeah, I'm just wanting to, show you, because we have done this, I've jumla ismiya. Where is that? So if you look here, there was, yes, I'm going to repeat it for you, inshallah. I just wanted to pull my slide as well while I was doing that. Okay, jar wal majroor, and this was my very beginning of the jumla ismiya. Okay, not this one. I will go to 56. One second. Remember this one, we did it in the past. If you remember this slide. If your sentence begins with a jar wal majroor zarf idafa, the ism in that sentence is going to be labeled as mubtada even if it is common. So fi qulubihim maradun, what is going to be maradun? Is it going to be khabar or is it going to be mubtada? It's going to be mubtada. Fi dhalikum bala'un. What are we going to label bala'un? It's going to be mubtada. Walillahi al-mashriqu wal-maghrib. This is clear because it is proper, and as a mubtada should be proper. So there is no confusion here. There is no rocket science here that we are going to call it mubtada. But here, remember that if you see jar wal majroor dharf idafa at the beginning of a sentence, label even a common ism after it as mubtada. Okay, this is you have that in your notes, inshallah. Okay? So bismillah. Now the last thing was, sometimes if I tell you mim masad, hablum mim masad, so a rope of twisted fiber. This rope of twisted fiber, this twisted fiber, what is it doing for hablun? I have not taught you this concept, but I just want to give you a beginning intro intro to that. Yes, see how sometimes you will see your sifa as jar wal majroor. Especially this is mainly going to be in 100% of cases when you have a common ism followed by jar wal majroor, there will be a mawsoof sifa connection between them. For example, if I give you something like rasulum minallahi, rasulum minallahi, what is minallahi doing? Rasul, from Allah. From Allah is doing what? It is a sifa. It is giving you a characteristic of a Rasul. Because I told you, I may have said it in the past classes as well, that in Arabic, otherwise, Rasul is any messenger. If I ask some sister to give my message to so-and-so sister, that is my Rasul as well. So, but when I say Rasulum min Allahi or Kitabum min Allahi, the book is not any ordinary book. Book is from Allah. So min Allahi is doing what? It is coming up as sifa for that word. Okay, and inshallah we are going to learn more about it. Okay. So now just a quick recap of whatever we did this whole surah. I hope everyone is with me on that. Like we did with Nazarun Zat. No. This one was very clear. This one is easy one. This is a standard way of calling something as Mawsuf Sifa, right? All properties are matching. Here, no properties are not matching, right? So it's a complex Mawsuf Sifa that we have to learn yet, right? And that's why it's Aisha, don't worry about it yet. Don't worry about it yet. But keep that in mind. Sometimes a whole sentence or a fragment can describe something. And when it is like an idafa, it's easy. You can just match properties and job is done. But it's something like this. If this is something like this, you need to be introduced to that fact. And that's why I asked you to just put i'rab on a sentence, on a verse until hablun, right? So, but in this one, since just keep that in mind that this is something that you will be taught in future. We have not learned it, so we won't worry about it at this point. Okay, so let's go back. Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. May two hands. How many hands are being talked about here? Three, four, two hands, right? Two hands of Abu Lahab be destroyed. Watab, and may he be ruined. He completely be ruined. Not just his hands, but he himself be ruined. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is cursing him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is cursing him in a very emphatic way. Ma aghna. When I taught you about ma, what kind of negation is it? Is it as regular negation or is a very emphatic negation? Very well done. It's a very strong negation. And at the same time, you are also refuting when what people think about their wealth and their children. What do they think? They think that their wealth will avail them. It will be of benefit to them, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is correcting the wrong concept of a human being. It will not avail him. It will not avail him. His wealth will not avail him. Wama kasab. Ma. Why is ma used? You know what we earn? Our children can also be the form of earning. Our sons, people, now even the daughters are put in workforce, and they are working the same way as anyone. So ma is common, right? So ma is common, and ma has ambiguity. So it can be his wealth, and it can be his, you earn deeds as well. Your bad deeds, your good deeds, that is also your earning, isn't it? And there can be, your earning is not just limited to wealth, right? Your reputation, your fame, your celebrity status is something that you earn. The respect is also earned, right? And what was Abu Lahab? Was he not respected among Quraysh? What do you think? He was, right? But will that avail him? Did you notice how past tense was used, how ma was used, and then how this ma mausula came? And then it tells you that, whatever he earned is not going to be of any avail to him. Then he shall soon enter the fire. When is Qiyamah? Is it very soon? What do you think? Was Qiyamah soon? Was he put in the fire soon? But you remember one thing. The minor Qiyamah begins in grave. You know that, right? So when you're put in grave, your minor Qiyamah begins there, then. And people are put in fire in grave too. So their barzakh is, like, just like it was said about Fir'aun, it is, taken in the same sense that, he, in his grave, he is suffering the punishment of fire. And on the day of judgment, again, he will be suffering as well. Okay. And then, you know what his wife is doing? She used to, spread stories, rumors about prophet. And this is an expression. She will be having this, she will be carrying this firewood. Whatever she was doing in this life, she will be continuing to do that in in future. But that is going to harm only her. As her stories harmed her in this life, they will harm her in afterlife as well. So she was very proud of her necklace, and now that necklace will be in the form of a rope around her neck, and it will be made up of a twisted rope, twisted fiber. Okay. Any questions? Ameen, Ameen, Ameen. Okay. So Suratul Masad. We briefly, these are this is a basic way of doing the I'rab. Were you able to go over the negation of Jumla failure by any chance? Alhamdulillah. So let me just take you back to that. There was one thing, my dear sisters, we did not do it in detail. So I will, try to take you to that. Okay, inshallah. So Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Who remembers the ways of negating Jumla failure? How can we negate in past tense? Now start answering. And the slide is in front of you, and I will just recommend not to look at it. Let me change it. Okay, so now this is going to be ma, there is going to be lam with fail mudare, there is going to be lamma with fail mudare, and I see all the right answers. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. So everyone is with me so far in when it comes to that. Tell me, are there other particles that I have taught you in addition to ma, lam, lamma, that can do negation in case of jumla failure? Lan is going to negate in future, right? Lan is going to be negation in future. You can refer to your notes and try to find out there. Okay, let's see. In addition to ma, in addition to ma, lam, lamma, the first time when I was teaching you, I taught you this particle in, right? Don't forget in, right? Everyone with me so far? We cannot forget it. In labistum, illa something, I don't want to misquote anything, but because it is about Quran, so I do have some examples. I must have some examples down here. Okay, in labistum illa qalila. So this in is also going to be used. Yes, yawma and kalila both are there, right? So always remember. So these are 4 tools of negation in case of past tense. Let me tell you one more. Okay, since now you know, but let me, before I tell you one more, yes, Sister Rukhsana, la is also going to be used to negate past tense. Okay, la is also used to negate past tense. Before I go into that, let me come to present tense. Who remembers the tools of negation for present tense? If I have to negate anything in present, I will use what? La nafia. Very well done. Number 2, ma nafia. Number 3, again in can be used, right? Is this in amila or ghair amila? When it is amila, my dear sisters, it will bring any change to whatever is after it. See, look here. Does it change anything after it? Think about it. It does not, right? So I'm glad that I asked you this question, and that is how the revision helps us to retain all the concepts that we have learned in the past, right? In tusmi'u, any change? Tum fil mudari? Real quick, no change. In yaquluna, any change? Any hasfun noon? No. So in is going to be amila or ghair amila now? Now tell me. غير عاملة. Very well done. GA. It's not amila. It's not A. It is GA, right? And anyways, it's not going to be, making any change to past tense, because past tense is very stubborn. It does not change. When we have ma, is it amila or غير amila? Look at ma here. غير amila. Very well done. When we have la, is it amila or غير amila? Everyone with me so far? Now these terms make sense, that why I am calling these heavy terms, just so that you know, if you get the basic concepts, it's not going to be hard. Let me tell you. Okay. Yes, it is going to be when in is with illa. We did it in the past as well. When in nafia is with illa, it is in nafia ghair amila, right? Ghair amila. Every time you see in, if it is followed by illa, you know it is the particle of negation, and it is going to be always ghair amila. All your verses are the proof of that, right? Nothing changed in fi'l mudari. Nothing changed in fi'l mudari, and it was followed by illa. Nothing changed. Nothing changed, followed by illa, and that's it, right? Now, one more thing. Ma, does it? Did I ask you about ma? Ma is also ghair amila. Everyone, right? Does it bring any change when it enters jumla failure? Is it amila or ghair amila? Ghair amila. Remember that. No change. No change. Okay. So keep that in mind. If I have to negate something in future, what tool can I use? What are the tools for negation in future? Learn number 1. And also I can use la, like lan and la. Lan and la. What is the difference between lan and la? How are they different? Will never. So which is emphatic? La or lan? Lan is emphatic, right? So I will have to stop here because our time is up. Inshallah, we will continue um, the revision of our negation, because I was to start negation of Jumla Ismiya, and I wanted you to be very well aware of negation of Jumla Fi'liya, because I cannot teach ahead, if you don't, if you have forgotten the concepts that we have learned in the past. Okay, so go back, and I will put all the examples here as well. Some examples are missing here. They are, they have been put here, there, but I will make sure your table has been updated. And inshallah, we will talk about this negation of fail madin with some additional tools, one additional tool as well, inshallah. So subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Take care.